Ezekiel 22. I read from the Institute for Scripture Research, the ISR, because it takes a direct translation from Hebrew to English, Greek to English, and Aramaic to English. Yah is the Elohim of the heavens and the earth, the first and the last and the only. Yah is an extremely jealous El. He doesn't even want the names of idols or mighty ones to come to our lips. Yah is short for YahWeh, Yod-He, or YahWeh, Yod-He, Vod-He. The letter J is about 600 years old, while the son of Elohim, Yehoshua, died on a stake for the sins of all of humanity over 2,000 years ago. In a direct translation between Hebrew and English, Yehoshua is Joshua. Ezekiel 22. And the word of YahWeh came to me, saying, And now, son of man, judge the city of blood, and you shall show her all her abominations. And you shall say, Thus said the Master YahWeh, the city sheds blood in her midst, that her time might come, and she has made idols within herself to become defiled, and you have become guilty by the blood which you have shed, and have defiled yourself with the idols which you have made. Thus you have brought your days near, and have come to the end of your years. Therefore I shall make you a reproach to the nations, and a mockery to all lands. Those near and those far from you mock you. Defiled is your name, and great the confusion. See, the elders of Israel, each one has used his name, his arm to shed blood in you. They have despised father and mother within. They have oppressed the stranger in your midst. They have wronged the fatherless and the widow within you. You have despised that which is set apart to me, and you have profaned my Sabbaths. Slanderous men have been in you to shed blood, and in you are those who eat on the mountains. They have done wickedness in your midst. In you they have uncovered the nakedness of a father. In you they have humbled women who are defiled during their uncleanness. I want to say that because they said they humbled the woman, that they raped her. Because in the last time I remember hearing about it, that I remember of, the guy humbled, in quotations, humbled his sister because he was stronger than her, because he wanted to have sex with her, but she said no, so he humbled her. He raped her. That's why I'm thinking that that's what that means, rape. And the one has done abomination with his neighbor's wife, sex, adultery, and another has wickedly defiled his daughter-in-law, and another within you has humbled his sister, his father's daughter. So he raped his sister, and I'm pretty sure another has wickedly defiled his daughter-in-law. I'm assuming that he had sex with his daughter-in-law, because they wickedly defiled. Then again, he could have just sacrificed her. That would have been the same. Anyways. In you they have taken a bribe to shed blood. You have taken interest and increase. You have cut off your neighbor by extortion, and you have forgotten me, declares the Master YahWeh. And see, I shall strike my hand. I shall strike my hand because of your greedy gain which you have made, and at the bloodshed which has been in your midst. Would your heart stand? Your hands be strong in the days when I deal with you? I already know my answer. No. Even if I was perfect, I still wouldn't be strong enough in the day of judgment to plead my case. Because we're all sinners. And we've all fallen short. I, YahWeh, have spoken and shall do it. And I shall scatter you among the nations, and shall disperse you throughout the lands, and shall consume your filthiness out of you, and you shall profane yourself before the eyes of the nations, and you shall know that I am Yahweh, and the word of Yahweh came to me, saying, Son of man, the house of Israel has become dross to me. Dross has become dross to me. All of them are bronze and tin and iron and lead in the midst of a furnace. They have become the dross of silver. Therefore, thus said the Master Yahweh, because all of you have become dross, therefore see, I am gathering you into the midst of Jerusalem, and they gather silver and bronze and iron and lead and tin in the midst of a furnace to blow fire on it, to melt it. So I gather you in my displeasure and in my wrath, and I shall blow and melt you, and I shall gather you and blow on you with the fire of my wrath, and you shall be melted in its midst. As silver is melted in the midst of a furnace, so are you melted in its midst. And you shall know that I, Yahweh, have poured out my wrath on you. And the word of Yahweh came to me, saying, Son of man, say to her, you are a land that is not cleansed or rained upon. In the day of displeasure, there is a conspiracy of her prophets in her midst, like a roaring lion, tearing the prey. They have devoured life. They have taken wealth and precious matters. They have made many windows in her midst. Her priests have done violence in my teaching, and they profaned my set apart matters. They have not distinguished between the set apart and profane, nor have they made known the difference between the unclean and the clean, and they have hidden their eyes from my Sabbaths, and I am profaned in their midst. Her leaders in her midst are like wolves tearing the prey, to shed blood, to destroy lives, and to get greedy gain. And her prophets have coated them with whitewash, seeing a false vision and divining a lie for them, saying, Thus said the Master Yahweh. When Yahweh had not spoken, the people of the land have practiced oppression and committed robbery, and have wronged the poor and needy, and they oppressed the stranger without right ruling. And I sought for a man among them who would make a wall and stand in the breach before me on behalf of the land, that I should not destroy it, but I did not find one. Therefore I have poured out my displeasure on them. I have consumed them with the fire of my wrath, and I have put their way on their own head, declares the Master Yahweh. So whatever you do to other people, he will turn it around and do it to you. It's like we read earlier on in the Bible. I can't remember. It was just in my brain and now it's gone, but it's identical to this. Therefore I have poured out my displeasure on them. I have consumed them with the wrath of with the fire of my wrath, and I have put their way on their own head, declares the Master Yahweh. Oh yeah, okay, I remember it now. I just can't remember which part it was. I'm pretty sure it's Isaiah, but anyways, as a murderer, when you stop murdering, you will be murdered. As a thief, when you stop thieving, you will be thieved. Stuff just like that. I'm going to leave it so you guys can look it up if you want. Yeah.